Though it sits on the ancestral lands of the Piscataway, Pamunkey, and Anacostan people, D.C. is home to a small Native American population. Still, some are trying to bring attention to Native issues. At the George Washington University, students with Indigenous heritage co-founded Students for Indigenous and Native American Rights, or SINAR, in the spring 2023 semester. Founders Allison Herron and Olivia Gower aim to bring community, education, and awareness of Native Americans to campus and beyond.
These are issues that deserve the school's attention, and we need to, as a community, be drawing attention to these Native issues and letting GW students know that you can and you should be just as engaged in Native issues as you are in other issues of American politics and American social life.
Along with hosting guest speakers and organizing a powwow, SINAR hopes to use Guide to Indigenous DC, an app created by Chickasaw citizen Dr. Elizabeth Rule, to take students on a tour of Indigenous landmarks in the district.
If you're talking about like the Indigenous inhabitants of DC, you know, the Rappahannocks, the Pamunkey, and what those people are doing today and how you can help them today, that probably feels a lot more manageable for people who are just now starting to learn about Native issues.
SINAR leaders are currently speaking with GW leadership about the possibility of instituting a formal land acknowledgement at the beginning of the university's commencement ceremonies, starting in May 2023. However, they hope this practice will continue beyond graduation.
There needs to be a land acknowledgement both at all of our commencement ceremonies, as well as I think that should be a standard on all of our syllabi and all of our websites. I will say they do have a land acknowledgement on, I think, the general university website, but I think that needs to be more widespread. And a land acknowledgement, it seems like such a trivial thing, but it's not to the Indigenous people that are from this land.
Beyond GW, the Smithsonian's National Museum of the American Indian, or NMAI, brings visitors from across the country and around the globe into a Native space at no cost. In addition to ongoing exhibits showcasing the histories and cultures of Native communities, NMAI hosts a range of events. From February 23rd to 26th, NMAI hosted the Mother Tongue Film Festival to highlight Native voices in film, and they will host the Cherokee Days Festival at the end of March. Visitor Services Specialist Melissa Bissani says these community events in particular bring in many visitors.
So some of the more successful events that we have are community-based festivals. So we'll come up with a topic, mostly looking at one community at a time, like a Quechua community or Hawaiian communities, and framing an entire festival around a cultural perspective on something.
Melissa says the museum does face challenges, but it is still an essential educational tool for visitors who may not be educated on Native American history and culture.
We're part of a federal pseudo-agency. You know, we are a construct of the U.S. federal government. So how do you make another federal space a Native space? It's been very hard. But from the start, NMAI had a practice of engaging community. I think that it's important and interesting that the Smithsonian has a National Museum of the American Indian. I think it's a step towards Americans realizing that the Native story is all of our story, all of our history. You know, it's a place that's teaching every single day.
From Washington, D.C., I'm Riya Sharma.